Hello, 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 and welcome back to Disco Elysium. This time we're gonna be talking to Martin Martinez's special little friend. But first, I must investigate the room first, also make him feel uncomfortable because I just ignored him. Make him sweat. Make him sweaty sweat. Plus logic somehow. I like his logic. And then we got this. It gives us drama and electrochemistry. Gonna be a drug dealer, eh? Alright, Mr. Politician. The politician is never done. Governmental issues takes me all over Revachol, you see?
Officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
You shouldn't be seeing him in an intimate setting. For some reason you feel this man is your superior. Superior, but he's not in the command chain. His hands are clean and well manicured. This is a man who knows the importance of appearances.
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I work for the Institute of Price Stabilité on assignment from Monsieur Laclé. I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I am here to assist you in any way possible. Ask me about the hanging.
No, first ask an innocuous personal question to get the interview off on the right foot. Yes. Make it clear you're the one setting the terms here.
Before we get to that, tell me where you got this beautiful silk robe from. Nah, let's talk about the bed. That will really throw him off. Point at the bed. Before we go on, I absolutely have to inquire about this wonderful canopy.
Oh yes, my friend has a great eye for these things. He refuses to tell me where it came from. It's a mystery. I believe they call this type of frame industrial. It's very comfy. That's really all I can tell you about
Looks
it.
very sturdy. Those pillars
That didn't work at all.
are awfully
The
close.
lieutenant takes out his notebook and nods to you to proceed.
You actually witnessed the lynching?
I'm sorry to say I did, officer.
He didn't see the hanging. He saw the little show staged by the Hardys. Let him talk. He may know more than even he knows.
Start from the beginning if you don't mind.
Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal to me, like in a play.
What do you mean, like in a play?
It was just so strange. I could barely comprehend what was happening. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead, one by one. That's when I understood. I should not be seeing this.
That lines up with previous testimony, doesn't it? Well done, detective.
Thank you, sir. I think we've got the picture. Anything else stand out?
Only that there were about 8 or 10. I couldn't make out anything. It was so dark. And it was quiet. Quietest lynching I've ever heard of, let alone heard. But I suspect you knew that already. I can't say I'm surprised. The fine reputation of the men and women serving in the RCM is well-deserved.
What's an official like you doing in Martinez?
The Coalition is only looking out for the price stability. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease blocking the normal circulation of the economy. It must be controlled. The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight.
Okay. But what are you doing here, in this apartment?
Well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons took the top 4 stories off. This, of course, happened when the Coalition forces landed here. You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here. Yes, as I said before, I am a commissioner from Sur-la-Clé working for the Institute of Price Stability. This is one of the main projects of the Moral Intern.
What is this? International community?
La communauté internationale is what Revacholians colloquially call the Coalition. In other words, the nations that stopped the disaster of the revolution.
And what do I call the coalition?
Your employer, technically speaking. The governing authority of Revachol. The RCM is but one part of this provisional administration.
What is the price stability?
It is the most important thing.
That doesn't tell me anything.
It's the central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining the price stability is essential to maintaining high levels of economic activity, which is essential for maintaining high levels of employment.
Okay, but that doesn't explain why you say everything else is normal, and then you say, the price stability.
Which is essential for maintaining the social stability.
Oh no, there's a social stability.
Basically, it makes sure the price of bread doesn't change.
Précisément. Too much inflation, bread becomes too expensive. Too much deflation, it becomes too cheap for bakers to produce. That's why the Institute of Price Stability works to keep inflation just below 2%.
Below 2% of what?
But not too far below, no. Too below is also bad. Below, but close to 2%.
You're not answering my questions at all.
The Coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits of the price stability. Transparency is one of our principles. Would you like an informational pamphlet?
Okay, sure. Give me a leaflet.
A sound monetary policy is essential for addressing uncertainty. Stability is the raison d'être of the moral intern. It's the reason why I identify as a moralist. But oh, I don't have my leaflets on me today.
Oh,
That's too
too bad.
You can always call our information.
Look at that.
Making information available is part of the moral intern's commitment to transparency.
I've heard about the moral intern before, but I want to know more.
It's the international organization for moralists. Hence, Moralist International. The Institute of Price Stability is just one of its many mind babies, as is the Coalition.
So, what I'm hearing is that we're moral intern bitches.
Doing one's job doesn't automatically make one anyone's bitch. Besides, there are more nefarious powers to work for than the moral intern.
Are you a moralist?
But of course.
But why?
Because moralists believe in a normal, stable world governed by democratic values.
Lieutenant, are you a moralist?
Me?
You've managed to catch the lieutenant off guard, but only for a moment. He quickly recomposes himself.
He's not.
I'm a lieutenant of the RCM, dedicated to maintaining law and order in Ravachol.
A very moralist answer.
The lieutenant is practiced in the art of putting on a show for one's superiors.
But what is a normal and stable world?
The Occident is part of the normal world. Oranje, sur la clé.
That didn't. Martinez doesn't seem very normal or stable to me.
Martinez? No. Martinez is something else.
What about Revachol? Is Revachol a part of the rest of the world?
Revachol is generally difficult. It's led by an interim government, which means it hasn't yet achieved full democracy. But they are working towards it. You're all doing very well here, relatively speaking.
Democracy's meaningless sham, as long as the working class is under the boot heel of capital.
Of course, the detective's personal views do not
called
represent
me
the views of the
detective.
RCM.
Ah, my friend. But the lesson of the revolution is that communism does not work.
Are you telling me this world here, this working out world?
It's moving towards the right direction, and that's all that matters. Progress is measured in centimeters, my friend. Now, enough of this delightful political interlude. Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Tell me about Sur la Clef.
What's there to say? Sur-la-Clé is a modern, urbanized country that measures very high on the Human Development and Freedom Index. Mostly, though, it's known as the executive heart of EPIS. Moreover, it is a great sponsor of less emerged countries. Revachol is only one of its many darlings whose progress it supports and cherishes.
What makes Revachol sur la classe, darling?
Because a great percentage of Revachol's culture hails from Sur-la-Clé. Its language, its people, its cuisine even. Or at least in the downtown La Delta area.
Jamrock and other parts of the international zone have been mercifully spared of Sir Leclerc's love for meatballs and mashed potatoes.
Tell me about Oranje.
Oranje is an exemplary nation who, as a core member of EPIS, contributes 28% of our annual budget. Next to Sur-la-Clé, Oranje is probably the most prominent member of the international community.
Which one of them is more Ipis?
As founding members, they are both very EPIS. Oranje carries a lot of political weight, while Sur la Clé takes care of the business side of things. Sur la Clé hosts the headquarters of the major EPIS institutions.
Okay, but outside of Ipis, what is Orange?
Oranje's economy is one of the most advanced in the world. It has successfully transitioned from heavy industry to advanced services
the US.
and generally acts as an engine for sustainable change in the international community.
Can't you just talk like a normal person
About what?
about Aranya? Just tell me what it's like there.
Oh, it's very urban and very well organized. Their streets are clean, their horse cars run on time, the people are polite and efficient. Like I said, they are an example for less emerged nations to follow.
If he knows so much about Oranje, maybe he also knows about Oranje's mercenaries.
Enough business. Let's talk about something else.
Whatever you wish, officer.
The man who was lynched outside your window was from Oranje.
Oh, that's unusual. The Oraniers are not the kind of people you associate with heinous crimes. It's such an upstanding and responsible country.
That's not how I would describe this guy.
Well, certainly one cannot rely simply on generalizations. That would go against our commitment to individual freedoms. And, of course, any loss of life is a tragedy. So tell me, what have you learned about the victim?
His name was Lele.
Lely? That's an interesting name.
Lele was his real name. It's a nom de clé.
Ah, he was a soldier.
A mercenary.
Aha! A condottiere. Yes, it's hard to believe they still exist.
He was a motherfucker and a killer.
Officer, you shouldn't speak ill of the dead.
It's okay. He told me so.
So you spoke with the victim before he died?
No. This was after he died.
The man gives the lieutenant a nervous look. The lieutenant raises his eyebrows as though he'd stopped paying attention. Your partner's doing you a favor by pretending not to have heard your insane ramblings.
I'm throwing him off, Kim. That's all. That's who he was.
As I said, the loss of any life is terrible, no matter who the person may have been. I do hope you're able to bring his killer or killers to justice. We must show that the rule of law still applies, even in Rivachol.
Can you tell me about your friend?
Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. But he understands the importance of education. He has taken his future into his own hands, and that's all that matters.
What's Kedra?
Kedra is a candidate member of APIS. But, between you and me, their potential membership is a more contentious issue.
What do you mean?
That it's never going to happen. They entered negotiations in 21, and it's been pending ever since.
But that doesn't tell me anything about Kedra itself. Is it warm there, cold, something in between?
It's warm. It's also known for its mandarin trees and dust storms from Supramundi. Kedra's an emerging market, but it still has a long way to go. Maybe that's why my friend's Ménage decided to emigrate.
How did you two even become friends?
How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the Insulindian Isola? Oil platforms ablaze in the night? Civil wars lasting for years? Finally, the international community is forced to step in.
Oh. What are you talking about? No one becomes friends that way.
Au contraire. It's how millions of people end up where they are. Meeting the people they meet. It's how I came here. And my friend, too.
You still haven't told me who he is.
Sorry. Who?
I'm gonna... You know, what the CIA said the best way to make it look like someone. You know what's behind you? Oh, your friend, the smoker on the balcony. We were just talking about him.
But I told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Education is the foundation of our future, especially the arts. It is a cornerstone of our civilization.
Fine, but... what's his real name?
Officer, you have to understand. I can't give you his personal information. I'm sure you have your own methods and databases, right? Please don't put me in this situation.
So all you can tell me about him is that he's here to study the arts.
He's deeply enmeshed in the study of the fine arts, yes.
Which arts?
He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design, printmaking, who knows? The world is open wide for a talented youth like him.
What are you doing in this apartment by yourself?
I'm just enjoying the view.
Isn't it rude for your friend to leave you alone like this?
We're old friends. Nothing's taboo between us. He comes and goes. I'm sure you'll see him around. He's very active.
I had something else in mind.
I'm all ears, officer.
Thanks, I've got all I need.
A moment, officer. Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave.
Thanks for the head up, but my work here is done.
Of course. I'm glad I could help.
Bada bada boom. Someone is always watching. Someone is always watching. Wah 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 wah. Oh, freaking CIA, that man. I'm gonna CIA that man. Oh, ho, ho. He's gonna get CIA. Oh, ho, ho. Hey Cindy, I read an article about you. An article about you that says some stuff about you where you're very rude. Bow. Chicka chicka. Chicka 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 bow. Chicka chicka. Chicka 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 bow. Chicka chicka. Chicka 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 bow. Chicka bow chicka bow. Bow, chicka chicka bow, chicka chicka bow, chicka chicka bow. Get a hold of a sad song on a date. Get those signatures, can't do that. Who can't do that? Can't do that, 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 can't do that. Can't do that. Can I go to bed? Bed? 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 Okay, yeah. Bed, 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 see you in the morning, Kim. Can I pick that up? What? Ah! Get out of my hand. It is time to slumber. But before that, I'm going to end the video. So, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. And I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.